What's up, guys? Welcome back to All Games Mindset, where we talk about diet, fitness, dating, health, all that kind of stuff. So today we're going to go over law number 2 of the 48 laws of power. So let's get into it now. Alright, so we're just going to get right into it. Law number 2 is never put too much trust in friends and learn how to use your enemies. Be wary of friends. They will betray you more quickly, for they are easily aroused to envy. They also become spoiled and tyrannical. But hire a former enemy, and he will become more loyal than a friend, because he has more to prove. In fact, you have more to fear from friends than from enemies. If you have no enemies, find a way to make them. So, Mike, tell me what this law means to you.
Pretty much is that you don't want, if you're in a position of power, you don't want to give friends this, similar amount of power. You want to keep friends as friends, and you want to give people that are competent in the specific authority. If you need to give someone some sort of authority, right? You want to give people that are competent in their field, in that specific field, to be in that position. You don't want to give it to a friend. So let's say I'm a manager, right? Let's say I'm a manager of a convenience store, and I need an assistant manager. I'm not going to give it to my buddy Andrew here because he's my friend. No, if he's not competent enough to be assistant manager to me, then he shouldn't be it. I need to get someone who's competent enough and someone who is able to do the job, has something to prove to be in that position. I don't want to give it to him because by me giving him this position, right, he is going to, number one, resent me in the sense that I gave him this position only because that he's my friend and not because of the skills and abilities he has. If I were to give him this position, he's going to resent me. He's going to want to go above me. He's going to want to surpass me because of this specific reason.
In some type of way, yeah.
If I give it to someone who is actually competent, they're going to try to prove to me that they deserve it, and they'll move mountains to prove that that they are supposed to be there, right? And that I can pretty much be over them in a sense.
Yeah, the example that they use that Robert Greene uses in his 40 Laws of Power book is when the king, right? What's his name?
So in the Byzantine Empire, Michael, I think his name is Michael III. He pretty much became the emperor, and so he needed to have people help to be under him, to people who he can trust, right? So he brought on someone who was his friend that he knew when before he was the emperor that he brought upon him, and instead of getting his uncle, I think it was his uncle, and instead of doing that, the example that I was using with Andrew before, pretty much what happened is that he gave his friend all this power, all this wealth, and it came to the point where, without the Emperor Michael even knowing, his friend pretty much was able to get the military and was able to pretty much gun Michael down with the power that he had, because he was able to just throw away all this power until Michael didn't have any power, and his friend ended up having all the power and took over his rule.
Yeah, it's not necessary to say don't completely distrust your friends, but just be aware of people's actions around you.
Yeah.
And be able to look at behaviors and find out if it benefits you in life or not. You know, you want to be surrounded by people who give you value and who truly want to be by your side, right? And a man who is truly authentic, you know, like when he says, you know, if you don't have any enemies, make them. Basically, if you're living on your purpose and you're doing what you have to do, you're going to make enemies probably regardless, because you cannot please everybody. So the more enemies you can make people that will try to surpass you and that will try to compete with you in certain aspects, whether it be job, at the gym, could be anything, right? So if you make enemies, at least you have something to go against. You have like a rival. You have someone that you can compete against, and it can make you stronger as well.
Yeah.
And you could use those enemies to your benefit. I always live in life in an opportunistic perspective, so you need to look at people who hate you. Maybe you may have haters. You need to find a way to use that to your advantage. You want to take a look at things and how can this benefit me? You know, you always want to take the opportunity as it presents itself, or as a challenge to make you better and get better as well and self-improve. So you can basically use these things to your advantage. If you're not making any enemies, you're probably not living true to yourself, because everyone is, you know, not everyone's going to like you in life. So find the people that do not like you, look at their behaviors, and find out how can I use that to my benefit.
Exactly. You gotta make sure that you have these enemies to make you stronger, because if you only have friends, you don't have anyone that is an enemy in a sense, it'll make you weaker in a sense, because you'll have all these people that will, be like, oh, you're so great, Mike. You got all this stuff, whatever, blah, blah, blah. But that's not helping you be better. Like, you should do that on your own, but you should also have someone that you can look at and be like, I'm going to be better than this guy because I need to be. Like, I strive to be. And so if it was just me and Andrew, or, me and Joe, Andrew and Joe all together, we have no enemies, it's just us, like, we're all going to get weak. But if we, have someone, let's say there's someone at the gym that we all go to, and he's, benching like 350, like, I'm going to get there because I'm going to prove that I can do it, something like that. You got to, or I'm benching 350, someone is over there coming in, he's like, and he wants to get there, but I'm going to show him that I can always stay on top. You got to, it's something where don't give your friends too much. Let them be your friends, but don't give him the power that you have. If you give them your power, then they're going to use it against you at some point. You want to make sure that friends stay friends, but your enemies are the ones that you go against.
Yeah, once again, you want to look at the behaviors of those around you. It's not to say you cannot trust your friends, but do not completely rely on them to the point where you can't rely on yourself first.
Yeah.
So you always want to be aware of the behaviors and stuff around you and keep guard of that. So with that all said, we're going to wrap up this video with that. And if you guys like this kind of content, hit the like button and also hit the subscribe button if you want to see more content. Or if you have any comments or experiences, share them down below to let others know. And we will see you guys in the next video.